Good morning, students. Today the topic we are going to study is coordinate geometry. You all are well aware about the number line and how to locate a point on the number line. As you know, number line is a straight line where 0 is taken as a center and positive numbers are taken on the right side, whereas negative numbers are taken on the left hand side. And one thing is to be noticed that the distance between 2 points is always same. Have you ever thought where we are using the number line in our day-to-day life? I give you an example. Suppose few students are standing in line. Yes? Now I'm going to name them A, B, C, D, E. If I ask you what is the position of child C, how you will tell me? Obviously, you are going to say the child is standing on the third position from the front. If you think carefully, somehow you are using a number line here where you have fixed A as the first child, B as the second and C as the third one. Yes? Now look at the another example. See, if you have a piece of paper and there is a dot on this piece of paper. If I ask you what is the position of this piece of paper, what is the position of the point of this dot on this piece of paper, how will you tell me? Maybe you will say it is on the upper half of the paper or towards the right of the paper. Yes, but it is not the exact location of this point on this plain paper. Yes, but if I give you one hint that this distance is 4 centimeter and this distance is 4.5 centimeter. Now I think you are more precise about the position of this dot on this paper. Yes? So what you observe here, we need the distance from the vertical line and the perpendicular distance from the horizontal line to describe the position of this dot here. Yes? So similarly, if you observe, you have to locate the position of a point or anything in a plane. How you will locate the position? For that we need coordinate geometry. I give you another example from your book only. Look at the sitting plan of a class in this example. In the bottom line, you can see this horizontal line is showing the columns, that is column 1, 2, 3, and this vertical line is showing you the rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, and so on. If you have to find the position of this dark box where the student S is sitting, how you will define the position of this child? Obviously, you will take the help of these columns and rows. The child is sitting in the 5th column in the 3rd row. That means you need two informations to define the position of a particular child. Similarly, we use two perpendicular lines. Here it is taken as column and the another line is taken as the rows to define the position of a point in the Cartesian plane or in a plane. So, what is a Cartesian plane or the system of coordinate geometry? In number line, you take a horizontal number line to define the position of a single point. Now, in coordinate geometry, you take two number lines, one is horizontal and another one is vertical. These two number lines are used. Horizontal number line and vertical number line. Horizontal number line and vertical number line, both lines are meeting at one point, that is the region of the point. Why it is called the origin? Since I have already told you that 0 is the center of the number line. So these two number lines meeting at their center only, that is 0. And we call this point of intersection as origin. Horizontal number line is called as x-axis and vertical number line is called as y-axis. And we denote these number lines as x, x dash, y, y dash. And we used to draw this on graph paper only. Now we know that this origin is the 0 and positive numbers are taken on the right side and negative numbers are taken on the left side at equal distances. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the positive direction of x-axis. -1, -2, -3, -4. This is the negative direction of the x-axis. And this x dash is representing the same negative side of the line. Similarly, when you have vertical number line 1, 2, 3, positive numbers are taken upward and negative numbers are taken downward. One more thing, if you observe carefully, these two number lines are dividing this plane into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, these 4 parts has a name, that is quadrants. And we used to count them anti-clockwise. This is your first quadrant, this is your second quadrant, this is your third quadrant, and this one is your fourth quadrant. We have counted them anti-clockwise. Now, more about these quadrants. This is the positive direction of the x-axis. As you go to the right, you get the positive direction. You get the positive number. As you go upward, you get again positive. But if you go on the right to left, that is left side, your numbers start getting negative. Similarly, when you go downward from the origin, your numbers are negative. That means the points which are lying in these quadrants have different signs. Now observe what can be their signs. If you come into the first quadrant, in first quadrant, x is right side of the x, that is the positive side of the x. That means x is going to be positive, and again y, that is upward the origin, that means even y is going to be positive. Both x and both y are going to be positive. If you go in the second quadrant, x is left of the origin, that is negative, and y, that is upward the origin, that is the positive. That means in the second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. If you go to the third quadrant, in the third quadrant, this is the negative side of the x, that is x dash. That means x is going to be negative here, and again this is below the origin, that means y is again going to be negative. So in the third quadrant, x is negative and even y is negative. Now move on to the fourth quadrant. You will observe this is the right side towards the origin, that is the positive side of the x, and this is downward, that is the negative side of the y. That means x is going to be positive here and y is going to be negative here. Yes, fine. So you can more understand the topic by a simple table here. But before doing the table, let's see how we write the numbers in the quadrants and how we locate the numbers in the quadrants. Hanji. Now let's see how to locate the position of a point in this Cartesian plane. See, this is the point P. We'll draw a perpendicular line as we have done in that example where we have found the location of a point on a piece of paper. We will draw a line perpendicular to x-axis and a line perpendicular to y-axis. Now see what is the position of the point P. If you see this distance, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and this is which line? This is y-axis. Okay? The distance of this point away from y-axis, the distance of this point P from the y-axis is 4 units, and the distance of this point from the x-axis, that means this distance, is 3 units. So how we can write it in the form of coordinate geometry? We'll use to write it like x and y in round brackets. The first place is always given to x and the second place is always given to y. The another name for this is x coordinate. We call it x coordinate, and for y we call it y coordinate. They have one more name, that is abscissa and ordinate. The another name of x coordinate is abscissa and the another name of y coordinate is ordinate. And together this is called coordinate of a point. Now what is the coordinate of this point? You will write like this. First is the position for x, comma, second is the position for y. What is the position of x? If you look, this line meets x-axis at 4, that means the position of this point on x-axis will be 4 and the position of this point on the y-axis will be 3. Now see, if you look carefully, the other way to find the position is perpendicular distance of this point from x-axis is 3 units, that is the coordinate of y, and the perpendicular distance of this point from y-axis is 4 units, that is the coordinate of x. Fine, understood this thing? Similarly, I have plotted the another point Q here. See how to locate the point. Again, we'll draw a perpendicular line from both the axes. See, and if you see carefully, again this is meeting the x-axis at -3 and this is meeting the y-axis as -3. So coordinates of the point Q will be -3, -3. I hope you all have understood this. Similarly, the question can be in the reverse way also. Suppose the question comes to you, plot the points on Cartesian plane. This is your Cartesian plane. Plot the points on the Cartesian plane and points will be given like 3, 5, 0, 2, -2, 1. For that, again you will take up graph paper here only. On the graph paper you will draw 1, Cartesian plane like this, x, x dash, y, y dash, point of intersection is origin, that is 0. Now you have to plot the point that is 3, 0 on the Cartesian plane. Now see what is the point 3, 5. 3, as I have told you, is abscissa or x coordinate, and 5 is for y, that is y coordinate or ordinate. Now obviously if you look carefully, both are positive. Yes, both are positive. So obviously the coordinates which are both positive, both x and y are positive, they will lie in the first quadrant. They will lie in the first quadrant. Yes. Then how to locate them? X is 3, that means x is 3 here, and on the y axis y is 5. So we will draw two perpendicular line in the same way. Where the two lines meet, that is the point. Which point? That is the coordinate 3, 5. Fine, this is wrong. Similarly, you have another point 0, 2. Again, this is x, x is 0 here and y is 2 here. So 0 is here on x-axis and y is 2. Yes. How to plot the point? How to plot this point? If you look carefully, if you have to draw the line perpendicular, you will draw like this only. That means it is y-axis itself. So any point which has one of its coordinate 0, like we have x coordinate 0 here, it will lie on y coordinate only. It will lie on y-axis only. So the point, second point is 0, 2, that will lie on the y-axis. Suppose take another example, we have 5, 0. Obviously x is 5 here and y is 0 here. Any coordinate which has y coordinate, its y coordinate or ordinate we say, is 0, it will lie on x-axis. See how? X is 5. Where is x? Where is x? X is 5 here only, and y is 0. Y is 0 here only. If you draw in the same way a perpendicular line, it will be like this and this. Observe, they are meeting on x-axis only, and the coordinate 5, 0 lies on the x-axis only. Here we conclude that any coordinate which has y coordinate 0 will lie always on x-axis, and any coordinate which has x-axis 0 will lie on y-axis only. So we have another one point, that is -2, 1. -2, that means -2, 1. X is -2 and y is 1. X is negative here and y is positive here. Yes. Now that means x is negative on this side, so -2 lies here and y is positive, that means upward, that is here. We are again going to draw two perpendicular lines here. Where these two lines meet, that is this coordinate, that is the location of this point on the Cartesian plane, that is -2, 1. Fine. I hope you all have understood the topic now. So let's review what we have done today or what we missed today. That is, to locate the position of any object or a point in a plane, we require two perpendicular lines. One is horizontal number line and the another one is vertical number line. Yes, this plane is called Cartesian plane or coordinate plane, and the lines are called coordinate axis. These are coordinate axis. This is x axis, this is y axis, x dash, y dash. In singular we called it x axis. Together in plural form they are called axis. Fine. This is horizontal line called x axis and vertical line is called y axis. Where the two lines meet, that is called the origin, and obviously we have not discussed yet the coordinates of origin are 0 0. Coordinates of this point are 0 0 because both x and y are 0 here. Yes. Then we have done the 4 quadrants. The 4 quadrants, we start counting anti-clockwise. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, then fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, x is positive and y is positive. In the second quadrant, y is upward the origin, that means positive, x is negative. That means you can write like this, negative and positive. X is negative, y is positive. In third quadrant, both x and y are negative. And this is your third quadrant. In third quadrant, both x and y are negative, and in fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So you can write positive and negative. This is representing x and this is representing y. Fine. Now, then we have learned their names. This is called coordinates. This is your x coordinate, and another name of x coordinate is abscissa. This is your y coordinate. And then another name of y coordinate is ordinate. Then we learn how to locate the points on the Cartesian plane. Fine. Then one more thing, any point which lies on x-axis, any point which lies on x-axis have y coordinate 0. कोई भी point, any point which is on the x-axis will have y coordinate 0. Any point on x-axis will be like this, x 0. Any point on y-axis will be having x coordinate 0, that will be like this. Your region is 0 0. Fine. And with this I think you have understood the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.